All right, number 32 asks us to find the probability of having at least one 50-year flood over the next 10 years. All right, so let's talk about what a 50-year flood is. 50-year flood means that we would expect to have a flood of that magnitude once every 50 years. All right, so the probability of having a 50-year flood in any given year would be 1 out of 50. We would expect it to happen once every 50 years, so the probability of it happening this year would be 1 out of 50. Same thing with the next year and the next year and the next year. So in order to find out the probability of having at least one flood, one 50-year flood in the next 10 years, we have to figure out the probability of not having a 50-year flood every year for the next 10 years. So we'll start with the probability of not having a 50-year flood this year. Well, that's going to be 49 out of 50, right? If the probability of having a 50-year flood is 1 out of 50, the probability of not having a 50-year flood this year is 49 out of 50. And it's going to be the same next year and the year after that. And in fact, we're going to do this 10 times. So instead of writing out 49 divided by 50 10 times, let's just write 49 divided by 50 to the 10th power. And so let's figure that out. So 49 divided by 50 to the 10th power is going to be about 0.817. That's 49 divided by 50 taken to the 10th power is 0.187, which means that there's about an 81.7 chance that we're not going to have a 10-year or a 50-year flood anytime in the next 10 years. All right, so that wasn't the question we were asked, though. We were asked, what's the chance of having at least one 10-year flood in the next 10 years? So the probability of that happening is just going to be 1 minus 0.817. That is, if there's an 81% or an 81.7% chance of not having a 50-year flood in the next 10 years, then there's a, what would that be, 0.183. There's an 18.3% chance that there's going to be at least one 50-year flood in the next 10 years. So the answer for our question is 0.183. That's the probability of having at least one 50-year flood in the next 10 years.